Hey everybody, it's Ashley Francis, the Holistic Psychotherapist, where we use mind, body, and spirit techniques to take you from hurting to hopeful. And today we're going to be talking about kind of an unusual topic, but it's a really relevant topic. And I'm seeing it more and more with a lot of my clients, especially those who are entrepreneurs, those who are pursuing their own endeavors on their own, maybe a little side hustle. The possibilities for being able to make money on the side or to work for yourself are just endless. And we've never been in a time that is more opportune for us to be able to explore our strengths and our creativity and to be able to put projects together that allow us to be just as creative as we possibly want to be. And with that comes a lot of struggles. And I know that this has definitely been the case and kind of is the case for me too, as it pertains to our social network. As we start to ascend that success ladder, there's all kinds of things in our lives that are changing and shifting, and our social lives are one of those things that experience this grand revolution. And if you don't understand what's going on or why it's happening or how to deal with it, it can be really isolating. We can feel really lonely as we are evolving into more self-actualized individuals, and oftentimes it's going to quote unquote leave some people behind, whether that be friends and even family too. So today I want to talk about what are some of the reasons why you might be feeling more isolated, more frustrated, and really sad. It's really sadness associated with a lot of the conflict that you might be experiencing with friends and family as you are continuing to progress. So one of the first reasons that you might be experiencing this is because as you have continued to grow, you now have different goals. Your goals are not the same as they were a year ago, probably even 6 months ago. If you're on a track to be able to expand your business and to learn more about business and to grow professionally and personally, then there are certain activities that you're likely engaged in that are designed to push you outside of your comfort zone, to really stretch you, to be able to get to a new level of thinking and operating that a lot of people just don't understand, or maybe they can't even relate to. So I see a lot of folks that are using business coaches, or they might be a part of a mastermind group, just around a lot of other support networks and different ways of being able to expand your horizons and grow your knowledge base. And when you do that and you're constantly being pushed and challenged to get out of your comfort zone, to think outside of the box and to do the unconventional things, then it's inevitable that your goals are going to change. And if you're surrounded by people that are not on a similar track to you, then it's most likely that their goals are not changing, or they're not changing at the pace at which yours are. So that's one of the reasons for this dissension. Another is that you have different problems. What you were dealing with probably, again, like a year ago, 6 months ago, a few years ago, is probably completely changed, because you're the type of person that is attacking your problem. You're learning several different ways to be able to attack it and to be able to address it, and you're on to the next. So you're onto a whole new set of problems that you're not having, and not having to deal with old problems, because you're on that ladder. You're on that road of ascension. And again, if other people in your life that are typically close to you are not on a similar track, they just can't relate to this. And another is that you can't really ask these friends or family members for advice. Oftentimes because they're either going to give you bad advice or they just don't know what to say, again, because they can't relate. So we got to be weary of this, and you really need to get good about being able to evaluate the source. I always try to tell clients, evaluate the source. Whenever you're getting any feedback, just remind yourself and ask yourself, who is this coming from, and from what place is it coming? Is it coming from a place of support? Are they trying to be unbiased? Are they trying their best to put their judgments aside and have your best interest in mind? And unfortunately, the answer is no for most of the people in your life. That's why you have a business coach. It's why you have a mastermind, or it's why you are associating yourself with other successful people around you, is because those are the type of people that are going to give you that unbiased, non-judgmental feedback that's actually designed to push you forward instead of to pull you back. Another reason is because you might now have different interests and hobbies. You start to notice that as you push yourself and stretch yourself, that you are able to learn that, wow, I can actually do a lot more than I ever thought that I could. I know that that's the case for me for sure. I never thought, just 5 years ago, I never even saw myself as owning my own business. I never thought of myself as being an entrepreneur, or even thinking about being good with numbers or being able to track my finances. I'm a therapist, for crying out loud. We are typically not very good business people. And that was the negative false story that I had been telling myself literally for years. And then when I started to do it and started to dig in, I started to learn that, oh my God, I'm actually really good at this. And not only that, I really love it too. And I like being able to talk to other people that are like-minded, because they're inspiring and I'm inspiring them. It's just kind of the realm that I like to be in. So when you get in this cadence of being able to push yourself and accomplish these types of goals that really you never thought were possible, it's going to open up a whole nother world of possibilities. So therefore, you might take up learning an instrument, or learning a different language, or traveling to a country that maybe you never thought you would go to, just simply because your mindset has now expanded and you think that, you now know that these things are possible, whereas before you probably never thought that they were possible. And it's important to keep in mind that a lot of people don't see possibility until we're in crisis. This is really just more of human nature. If you look around, and you can see this as being true, holding true everywhere around you, then I see this in therapy for sure, that most people are not going to come to therapy until they're in crisis, until the shit's hitting the fan, until their marriage is on the rocks and they're about to lose everything they've got. You can't be like that when you are successful in business and have the right mindset, that you are actually more proactive. You're getting ahead of the game, or maybe you're in the midst of experiencing some problems, but it's not to the point of crisis yet, because a business owner, entrepreneur in particular, is always thinking 50 steps ahead. You have to. So when you have that kind of mindset, you're more active in being able to address things as they're coming, or even before they're coming. And there's a lot of people, most people, that just aren't able to relate to this. One piece of advice that I'd like to give as it pertains to it really solidifying this mindset is that we've got to be the living example of the change that we want to see in others. When we are around other people, we're getting on their vibration. There is a concept in physics known as entrainment, and it is just that when one living energetic being is around another living energetic being, their vibrations start to synchronize with one another. And that can either be for the good, or that could be for your detriment. So when you're around other people, the more that you are acting like the person that you want to be, it's more likely to rub off on that other person, and you might be raising their vibration, or they could be bringing your vibration down. There's a wide variety of possibilities here. But the thing to keep in mind is that if you are continuously working on yourself and building and building and building, and you're around this specific person that just isn't like that, well, then you're going to be doing this number, and you're never going to be on the same page, which leads to a lot of confusion and a lot of sadness. So it's important, the adage is to surround yourself with as many diverse people as you can. And you've got to have other people in your life that are doing better than you. They have to be more successful. You need to have something that you are aspiring to. Otherwise, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you don't have a challenge. You don't have something that you are consistently working up towards. You got to have other people in your life that are just hitting it out of the ballpark and way ahead of what you are. If you look around and your friends and your family, if nobody meets that criteria, it's time to switch it up. And it might be time to cut the cord, which is easier said than done. But if you do an evaluation and an inventory of what is this person doing for me in my life, and your answer is not much, it's time to cut the cord. And a good way to be able to decipher this is to ask yourself, is this relationship nourishing or is it toxic? The question to ask yourself to determine this is, what kind of a person am I becoming because of this relationship? Am I becoming more successful? Am I making more money? Am I more balanced in my mindset and work-life balance? Am I feeling more spiritual? Am I more connected to my mind and body? Or am I being brought down? Is this person chastising me? Are they punishing me? Are they judging me? And asking yourself, where is that really coming from? That's really about them. It's 100% about them, and it has nothing to do with you. That's right. It has everything to do with them. So being able to adjust your expectations and take a step back, get that bird's eye view of exactly what's going on. And typically when someone is judging you or chastising you, putting you down because of your success, it's because they're jealous. It's because you've got something going on inside of yourself that perhaps they want to have inside themselves that just hasn't been realized yet. And therefore, it is a projection of their own insecurities that they are putting onto you for their own shortcomings. So if we look at it from this point of view, then we know beyond the shadow of a doubt that it is all about them, because that is their insecurity. And it's up to you to not take it so personally and understand that even though the words are being directed at you, you are an asshole, or you are full of yourself, or you are not deserving of all this money. It sounds very personal, but you've got to have the intellect and the wisdom to be able to say, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's all about you. So, surrounding yourself with successful people, being around environments and immersing yourself in environments that are designed to stretch you and make you grow. That's what this is all about. So if you're having trouble being able to decipher what friends are good for you, what friends are not, how do I cut them loose, what's the verbiage that I need to use, you might want to work with a therapist that is well-versed in business, or even a coach. I think in this case, maybe a lot of coaches may be better at this, because coaches tend to be a little bit more black and white, and specifically business coaches are going to have the very best advice and experience to be able to guide you on this. So I'd love to know what you guys think. What has this been like for you? Do you feel lonely? Is this something that you have struggled with, or you think you might be struggling with, or seen other people struggling? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this.